Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jerry Watkins. I'm a mindset leadership coach, and I have Tammy and I have a special guest today. We have been doing salon leadership class for about, what is it, guys, about 6 weeks?
5 weeks. We're on our 5th week.
We're on our 5th week. And we were having a session this Tuesday, and it was so exciting to hear all the testimonials about how people's lives were changing. And so we've asked Lexi to come on and share with Tammy and I, and share with you how this leadership class has totally transformed her in several areas of her life. But first, I want you to hear from Tammy for a moment. What was your thought about last week's class? How were you inspired?
I was inspired because it's not just teaching them skills inside of their salon, it's filtering into their personal relationships. We've had a few people that have rekindled some relationships because they're changing their mindset on things. And, I just felt like it was important to share what we're all learning so that maybe someone can see that for themselves and decide to join us on our next Salon Mastermind.
Definitely, definitely. And so as Tammy said, and I know we hear this a lot, but I mean this training is life-changing. In terms of your relationships, it will fix any broken or bad or enhance any relationship. So I want Lexi to take a few moments and first share with us, Lexi, what has been your biggest takeaways? I know we're putting you on the spot here a bit, but just share with us from your heart, what has been some of your biggest takeaways from the different trainings?
Well, with the trainings, and as you know, hairdressing, you are constantly in constant communication, whether it be your clients in person or on the phone, with your family when you go home, and with your coworkers and your friends. And sometimes, you guys end up having moments to where you feel like there might be an issue or a problem, and not always do you know how to correct those problems in people-to-people contact. And so my biggest takeaway from this was to just have a different perspective as to what really is the root of the problem and how do we solve this problem so it's a win-win for everybody.
Okay, and that definitely is a major component here. I'm curious though, because we were talking a few moments ago, where do you see, what have you changed in you? What's changed about you?
Oh, man, everything. So, I think normally when people go into any kind of relationship with anybody, you're always trying to see what it is that you bring to the table, what it is that they bring to the table. And, everybody wants to take away a little bit of something for that. And when you do, you kind of find yourself thinking a lot about like yourself and like what you're doing and what you're receiving. And I just think that this has really helped me identify what I bring to the table, the level at what I'm bringing it, and even sometimes like where my hesitations are when I don't bring something to the table. And so it's just really been an eye-opener for me. Starting out, we had to like rate ourselves, and I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I think I'm like a 6, 7 plus. But as we went through the project, it kind of opened my eyes to see where like my own blind spots were that I wasn't even aware of.
Right.
It's just been really more of less an eye-opener for me to really tune in and listen better, to really understand what's going on.
Right. Yeah, I like something you were saying earlier, that it's giving you awareness of where some of the minefields lie and what to do about them in relationships, that have these problems.
Yeah. So with any relationship, when you give, somebody gives, or somebody takes and somebody takes. And so just understanding like, is this really like going better? Is it really going worse? Like, what can I do to stop this? Or what can I do to maybe have some better clarification? And so for me, that probably has been the biggest tool that I've been able to use to help identify and then apply myself as to how to stop conflict or how to resolve it.
Tammy, you've known Lexi a lot longer than I have. What have you noticed in the training as it applies to her or anyone else?
Well, I've known Lexi a little bit over a year now, and she has grown a lot. She's taken some of my education through Unbranded Education and now the Salon Master Leadership. So what I've seen for her is she's getting her self-worth. She's getting a voice that she can speak with grace and ease, and self-confidence, I would say. And she's showing up for herself, which I think is huge. And, to do that in a short period of time is pretty amazing. Like, I wish I would have had that when I was her age.
Right, right.
So that's part of why we've created this education. As you know, Jerry, we've both been in the industry 20 something plus years, and you see these blind spots going on inside of salons with the leadership, with the co-workers, yourself as a hairstylist. So the idea is, how do you take all of these issues going in a salon and really apply it where the beauty professional can get use out of it and get really quick tools to make a shift in your culture. So I see it's working, and that's why I think it's important we share these testimonials from everyone. I think my biggest aha for myself is how this is really touching people's personal lives, which I love.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good point. We call this a leadership training class. We call it a salon leadership, but the truth of the matter is, it is leadership for anyone, and even more foundational, it's the relationship class. That's why I say no matter what problems you're having with any relationship, it can fix a totally broken relationship. Because, Lexi, you reminded me of one of the parts of the training we talk about, that when you ask two people in a conflict who's wrong, they both point at the other person. and now we're stuck, right? But I believe you have learned, and I know Tammy and I see now how to get out of that. You talked about it earlier. In fact, you see how to come out of a conflict now, and that's huge.
Yeah, I mean, really and truly, it's been like on a daily. It's just changed how I approach people, how I speak to them, how I give them advice or like any kind of guidance, even with my coworkers. Some of them will come and ask questions about how to deal with a complicated client, and it's like, let's get to the root of it. Let's really see. And I start going back and thinking about my tools, and then I start giving the stylist some options, and just kind of guide them and work them through. And usually it ends up being a win-win for the client and for the stylist. And so just being able to be that mentor and really use all the tools and facilitate that to my coworkers, even down to my kids, it's really been amazing.
Yes, it fixed the relationship with me and my youngest son. And that's why I say it's so dear to me, because we were in a conflict. We were in a circle of conflict, you call it, Tammy. And I wouldn't have known how to come out of it if I didn't know this information. I would have just been going back and forth with the same problem. But I was able to keep my heart at peace and able to see my role in it and start thinking more about him than just me. And that changed everything. So I want, as we get near closing, I want to ask you, Lexi, why would you recommend someone attend this class? Because we have another training coming up here shortly, and Tammy will give you guys the dates. But why would you recommend somebody attend this training?
I personally, if you deal with people-to-people contact in whatever sort of business, I know for hairdressing for sure, like I said, we deal with this on a daily in every situation. And it has really helped me learn how to communicate a lot better. And it has helped me learn how to listen, like truly listen from your heart and understand. So I would recommend it to anybody. If I could have taken this class starting out doing hair, I would have loved to have that kind of guidance then, because I feel like, 14 years later, there's probably 101 million possibilities of things and relationships that I could have made possible had I had the proper tools and knowledge.
Yeah. Awesome. That is so cool to hear. Definitely. So Tammy, take us home. When are we doing this again?
Okay, so we'll start our next one on Monday, March 30th. And the way that it runs is it's 6 sessions. It's every Monday for an hour and a half in the morning. And we go over the content, and then you take that content and then you live it throughout the week inside of your salon. So you're actually getting the practice of what you're learning in real time. And then we come back and debrief from that, talk about our wins, what we noticed, and then we carry on throughout. So that's kind of how it runs. You can register at unbrandededucation.com. It's called a Salon Leadership Mastermind course. And we connect through Zoom. So it is a virtual course, just like this video. So you do get that human contact. So we look forward to you guys joining us. Please reach out to us if you have any questions, and we would love to have you. Lexi, thank you so much for your time and for believing in me, Gary. We appreciate you.
Yeah, really. Thanks. I want to say thank you as well, Lexi. That was very kind of you to do this, and you're looking beautiful there. I love the lipstick and everything.
With her SOS segment.
And Tammy, thanks so much for taking the time to join us. I know you had a lot going on today. And so yes, awesome. Hey guys, we look forward to working with you. And until we meet you, you have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks, Lexi.